Episode of Denim and Blazers. I'm here with Mr. Shawn Shirley of Sunpro Solar.
Hey, how's it going?
So you want to tell us about your industry?
Sure. So I'm a Residential Viability Consultant for Sunpro Solar here at Houston, Texas. What I do is help people design and install residential solar power systems so they can take control of their electric cost.
Okay. Do you find it to be or becoming a passion, helping people figure out about the solar?
I've helped quite a few people over the past year, and it's definitely become my passion.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually one of my own first customers.
Oh, cool.
You know, how I got into the industry is kind of a funny story. I worked with a gentleman for a number of years in a completely different industry. He left, started working for Sunpro. He was over at my house one day for a birthday party from one of my children. We're grilling in the backyard. He looks at my roof, says, "Hey, you have the perfect roof for solar power." And like most of us, I knew a little bit about solar power, you know, popular mechanics and things. And I said, "Hey, well, I'd like to have some more information." So we sat down and talked about it. And my mind was blown. Basically, if you're going to be in a house for more than 5 years, the economics of solar are what really resonated with me personally.
Okay.
So I looked at it. We started talking. I said, I don't understand why anybody wouldn't do this. He says, well, more people need to have that thought process. And lo and behold, I ended up working for them shortly thereafter, and I became one of my own first customers, and I have not had an electric bill since I went solar.
Wow. What would be like one of the biggest misconceptions about?
That your homeowners association will not allow a solar installation.
Okay.
We actually have some very good solar protection laws here in Texas. Number one, a homeowners association must allow a solar install, but they do have oversight on design.
Okay.
So our company actually handles that process for the customer. We actually get a number of approvals before we install a system, that being one of them. The second solar protection law that people are very happy about is the fact that you get a value add to your house with solar, but it cannot be counted against you for your tax assessment every year. So the renewable upgrade to your house is there when you go to sell the house, but you're not paying taxes for it every year. So we have great solar protection laws here in Texas.
That is amazing. Yeah. You kind of told me how you got started. Have you figured out the dance of doing your business?
Yeah, sure. So being a father, I have 2 young daughters and a beautiful wife, and I like to be involved with their activities. It's been a little bit of a challenge at times, but what I found to be most important is when you're home, be present.
Yes.
And schedule your time appropriately. I schedule my calls, I schedule my appointments, always with in the back of my mind that you don't get time back, and you always want to take advantage of the things that you can.
Yeah, it goes by so fast. Or I found myself in trouble, like at the dinner table, we go out to eat and you keep picking up the phone.
Well, I do still have a little bit of that. It's a work in progress for me, I'll say that much.
I just have to put it away. Okay, do you ever deal with daddy guilt?
A little bit. I missed my daughter's softball tryouts last week.
Okay.
And I had been wanting to go, but I had a client that wanted to sign an agreement at that point and move forward. And I knew that we would have a lot of games this year that I would be attending. Right. So I had to make a choice there, and I absolutely felt guilty about it.
Yeah.
And but my wife did a great job on filling me in on how everything went. Okay. And my daughter certainly told me that she's the next coming of Babe Ruth, which we'll see.
We hope so. Your main mission with your business?
Is to educate the public and show them how they can use clean renewable energy to actually better their financial position while at the same time helping the planet.
Okay. What are 2 frequently asked questions that you get about solar?
How much does it cost? It's a big question. And what's going to happen when a hurricane comes?
Okay.
So,
that's
yeah, the answer to those questions are relatively simple.
Okay.
So the cost is determined by the number of panels that you need. So everybody's cost will be different, and we customize the solution. Think about it like this. If you have 2 houses that are identical, they're next door to each other, so they have the same position in relation to the sun, but those 2 families will use their electricity differently.
Okay.
We have a family of 4. You mentioned earlier that your kids have left the nest, so we may use more electricity than you would at this point in time,
Okay.
even if we were in identical houses next door to each other. So if I use more electricity, I would need more solar panels to produce that amount of electricity.
Okay.
So my cost might be different for yours, even though we're in identical houses next door to each other.
That makes sense.
And then the other question regarding hurricanes, our company, Sunpro Solar, we've been around for 16 years. We are a Gulf Coast based company. So we install our systems with that in mind. Basically how everything is secured to the roof is with a lag bolt into the rafters in the attic. It'll take up to 130 mile an hour winds.
Okay.
So your solar panels will still be there after that. And we've actually seen this come to pass a few times on some of our homes in Florida and Louisiana. Pardon me. If you have anything bigger than a Category 4 hurricane making landfall, you're going to have bigger problems than just your solar panels on the roof.
Right, you probably won't have a roof.
Exactly.
Yeah, you want to provide the audience with your contact information?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm very active on social media. You can search Solar Shawn, SHAWN, in Texas on Facebook. I'm also active on Instagram, Solar Shawn TX, and Twitter, Solar Shawn TX. I also have a website. It's solarshawn.com. Feel free to check out any of those. I have lots of videos and media kind of explaining the process and the things that go into it.
Okay, that's easy to remember. Solar Shawn.
There you go.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you want to share?
One thing I will tell you, there is a federal tax credit. So 30% of your system cost will actually be paid by the government in the form of a tax credit. This actually expires at the end of this year, December 31st, 2019.
Wow.
So if you've ever been curious about solar, I definitely recommend you reach out. I can do a free no-cost assessment and let you know if you're a good candidate for solar. If you are a good candidate, I'll work up some numbers and a design, and we can go from there.
Okay. I appreciate you coming to hang out with me.
Shawn, I love coming in, and thank you for allowing me to be your guest today.
Oh, thanks. Well, we'll see y'all next week. Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.